Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special episode of our podcast with K12 schools and American Edu Global Schools. Today, we're going to talk about a theme that is called Unlock Your Superpowers, Discover, Thrive, and Succeed. Today, we have an inspiring topic that will resonate with students, teachers, parents, and of course, all our listeners. We'll explore how you can create your own path from a young age, overcome life's obstacles, and achieve your dreams. I would like also to share three essential tools for students, parents, and teachers to help to unlock these superpowers. First of all, briefly, I would like to explain what the superpowers refer to. I think discovering yourself is crucial. Self discovery is the foundation of self motivation and success. To truly know yourself, you need to identify your strengths, your skills, your interests, and of course, and the most important, I think, is discover your weaknesses. Understanding these elements helps you to find your true path and drives you to motivation. My name is Marta Pardo, and I am an international speaker and master of ceremony, but also a coach. But I was not that all my life. When actually I reflect myself to start talking to you about this theme, I look into my internal and my inner young woman that I was. And I start by reflecting on what are the activities and what do I enjoy the most. I think you need to take note of subjects or hobbies that you were naturally perform. As your feedback from teachers, parents, and friends to gain different perspectives. Participate in different activities to explore your different fields and interests. Also, when you are studying, you need also to do some extracurricular activities that are going to provide you opportunities to explore new skills, new interests. I think also to make sure that you can gain in experience with something that you have never done, that can reveal your passions and talents. I remember when my father took me to a kung fu class. I was really very young, probably 3, 4 years old. And I learned how to use my self confidence, how to deal with discipline and self control. Does this help me? I think yes. Does this help me when I was very young? Sorry? When this helped me when I was very young, definitely I start thinking about what activity I was looking for. When I was a student, for example, I love languages, but I struggle with drawing and history. It wasn't because I didn't like them. It was because probably I wasn't motivated enough or encouraged enough to these two elements in my studying school. This experience taught me more about what I need to nurture but also what teachers and parents need to show me. And I start looking about what weaknesses I had, like drawing, for example. I didn't actually know how to draw. But if your teachers or your parents show you this path, you probably unlock your superpowers. If you like a lot something, go ahead and do it. It's like in a company. You cannot motivate someone by constantly point all the faults or all the failures. But instead, you can help them to improve by teaching or explaining and encouraging positively. That's what I wanted at that time. Like in a company, also time management is a key of success. How you prioritize your tasks and set aside a specific time for both academic, what you do behind in K12 schools or in American Global schools, and what you do afterwards. What are your extracurricular activities? Probably you can use a planner to keep the track of your commitments and make sure you're dedicating the right time to both your studies and your interests. Me, I'm going to give you all the time examples. When I was around 8 or 10 years old, my parents brought me to classes of piano. But I didn't want to go to those classes. My parents just took me because they want me to learn something about music. And actually, I was every single day after school. And I think it was too much. Probably I didn't have enough time to consider both. And that's where time management, even when you are very young age, you can also tell your parents or your teachers, hello, I need more time. I need to rest. I want to go this piano class because I'm really interested in too. Probably I love music. Tell them, ask them to bring you to those classes. And in case you feel too stressed, tell them too. I think it's worth it to communicate. So for students, I think I have 3 tools that you can make use that help me afterwards. The first one is the self-assessment. Regularly, you need to reflect on what you enjoy to unlock your superpower, what you excel or what you think you excel, at where you struggle. Use this awareness to focus on your strengths and work on your weaknesses. I was struggling with drawing. So I need to say that. I need to communicate this. And like that, probably teachers on my father or my mother or someone in my family can help me. The second tool is to set goals. I always teach this in my school students because it's important to define clear and achievable goals, even you're young, that align with your interest and your passion again. This will keep you motivated and provide you a sense of direction. Focus in a long-term goal and remind yourself why this is a matter to you. Set smaller goals and achievable goals are going to reflect in your self-confidence. If you put yourself in a huge goal that you are probably not going to achieve, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel badly because you're not taking care of these goals as you would like to. So small goals will help you to achieve probably easier, and probably frequent goals help you to achieve step by step and put yourself in a supportive and encouraging mindset. And this, your teachers and your parents can help you. When I wanted to be general manager, I was around 16 years old. And I started to build my SMART goals, my achievable goals, small goals. Of course, when you're 16, you're not going to be a general manager, but you can start thinking and planifying what you're going to do, how you're going to achieve, in which school you want to be, how you want to become, and where you want to become a general manager, at what age, how you're gonna go through this path. So remember to set goals for you each time. And if you don't know how to set goals, that is a reason what you need to ask your teachers to help you to go into this path, starting in your own very young age, because you can define what are the methods that you can employ, what are the tools that you need, what are the goals that you start to set up to yourself. A third tool to the students could be seek support. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Sometimes we think we can do everything. I have a child, Dylan, and I remember when he was very young, at 8 years old, he started saying to me, "Mommy, don't help me. I can handle all my studies and I can handle all my activities because I like to do this and I like to do this." And actually, Dylan was very, very responsible. But not everybody is the same, and we are not all the same at each point. And we have not all the same maturity to do and to have these responsibilities. So, seek support is essential to provide you guidance and resources and to encourage you in the right way. And remember that you have your parents also on a side. And I think the role of the parents is essential in this path of unlocking your superpowers. Parents pay really need to pay attention of what is the essential and crucial role and how you can support your children to discover their talents, because each child has a unique talent and has a unique dream. You might have different kids. I have just one. So for me it was a little bit more easier. But I know my friends and some of my family has 2, 3, 4, even more kids. So each children is different. And you behind the students, you are all different. Even though sometimes you're all gonna play in a same football probably team or a basketball team, but you are all different with different skills and with unique powers and talents. Some of you, you're going to be very fast. Some of you are going to be slow, but you're going to have tactics. You're going to have strategy thinking. You're going to have probably negotiating skills, how to deal with the captain, for example, or how to deal with another colleague that probably doesn't want to go through this. And your role as a parent is to discover and to encourage this. It's essential to foster a positive environment where children feel encouraged and supported in their pursuits. Sometimes I remember my father when I was 3 years old, so you can imagine, I was the first of three kids, and I was a woman. His passion was motorsports. And what he did is, at 3 years old, he put me on a motorbike. And he said, "You go." And I really love it. That was my chance and his chance. But when my brother arrived 3 years later, he just pushed me out. And he said, it's going to be him who's going to put in the motocross. So my frustration to be probably in that motocross, and probably I had a lot of talent, was essential. So please make sure, pay attention, the activities and how you focus on your way to put your kids in those activities, especially when they are extracurricular activities. The students and the kids need to enjoy the activity. You need to look forward and toward to have the opportunities for them to explore different interests. Encourage and support their passions, offering different resources, attending different events, and showing also how can they progress. I remember when I put my kid in judo, but at the same time, I put him in football, and I put him in basketball, and I put him in golf and tennis and swimming and motocross and karting, to make sure he can choose. He can choose what is the activity he liked the most. And you cannot unlock your superpower unless you have the choice and you know what skill represent your personality, your ability to do that. And I can tell you, my kid, Dylan, showed me that his superpower and his unique talent was motorsport. He was just amazing. So the students, you're behind this screen, try to think with your parents, what are the sports and what are the things you like? If you love maths, for example, or if you love bio or chemical experiences, or probably history or design, you need to tell that. You need to tell, "Mommy, I want to have a class specifically on this," to see if you have this superpower behind you. And if you have it, you need to unlock it. How to unlock it? With your help. Your help, because you need to have self-confidence, but also the help of your parents. And for your parents, I'm going to give 3 tools. The first tool is positive reinforcement. Encourage your child to do efforts, but also to celebrate those achievements, no matter how small they are. Positive reinforcement builds confidence and motivation. Focus on efforts and improvements rather than just results. I also give you another example. When Dylan said to me, Mommy, I had a very bad note, instead of saying, oh, you're not good, oh my God, you didn't study enough, I start thinking with him, what happened? What was the problem that you didn't solve and put you through this bad note? How can I help you to improve this note for the next time? How can you reach your goal using the superpowers that you have? Comparing your kids with others will not help. Oh, your friend, remember Peter? He was better than you. It's not the right way to unlock probably the superpower of your kid. The third tool that I'm going to provide you is you need to provide resources to your children, whether it's books, workshops, activities, no matter what you're going to find, but it has to be aligned with your child's interests. I think this exposure can help to explore and develop their talents, offering guidance and advice, but also give them freedom to make their own choices. I told you, my kid said to me, after being in football, basket, tennis, swimming, everything, I will love to go to a training program for karting school. And I said to myself, oh, this is going to cost me a lot. But at the same time, I said also to myself, if this is going to motivate Dylan and is going to give him tools to have more self-confidence and to be a better person in school and also at home and also to his future life, I'm going to do that effort. And that's what I did. I don't know if some of you knows Fernando Alonso, the most important Spanish driver that we have here in Spain in Formula One. I sent him to his karting school. And I can tell you, this lesson for me as a parent, but for him as a student, was amazing. And he developed a lot of new skills that I never imagined. Like how to react, how to think before you go, how to work with others, how to compete. Because remember, we also need to be a little competitive because business and life out there is also all the time a competition. It doesn't mean that you just need to think about competition. It means about how can you be better than others? How can you succeed and drive to that success? What is this lesson? Failures. You need to make mistakes and to look at those mistakes to improve yourself. So when you don't win in a race car and you lose, you need to look at your failures. And I'm talking about Dylan, but also about myself because I'm also a race driver like my brothers. So this can find something in your inner self as a creative activity. Find a way of support this passion with your children, such probably as organization of group studies. It doesn't have to be a very cost effective. It could be a free resource. You can find a community program activity, but you need to be involved. And I think this is extremely important, to be involved of what your children do. And I'm sure students want this. Your parents to be involved means that you need to stay behind the education that you're giving to your kid, to your extracurricular activities. Your presence is essential and crucial to guide them to succeed. Sometimes I think, as a parent, we think we don't have enough time because we need to work, and we need also to do things at home, and we need to do activities, and somebody is calling us. But it's so important to give quality time to our kids and to ourselves, to make sure we also do the right things for them. So remember, be involved is something that you need to look at. And I would like to now talk about teaching, the role of the teachers, because me, in somehow, I was a teacher for a couple of years in business schools. And now I'm coaching also leaders. And teaching is not easy. It has a very, very important and significant responsibility in helping students to discover their superpowers. That you can inspire, they can be inspired and motivated. But you need to recognize their potential and providing the necessary support to encourage them. I remember when I was young, and I remember when Dylan was young, that we struggle with some teachers. And now, when I look at my background, I said to myself, I don't need to do this. So I take some time to check the potential of my students and tell them that they are different. And they can be different, but using the same methods, but with a different point of view. You can rather ignore this or put yourself in a situation like if you were a parent, to be involved, because students stay in the room class for a long period of time, and they need to be engaged with you as a teacher, and you need to be aligned also what are the assignments, or what are the things that you're giving to the content you're giving to that student. And I think the first tool that I can give to a teacher is to personalize learning. I know we have programs and we need to go through the programs, and that's perfect because we need to have a direction for sure. But we need also to understand and stand by the unique abilities that learning styles can help, and how to tailor our teaching methods to cater their unique power and their unique talent. The second tool could be encourage curiosity by fostering and learning new environment situations, exploring. So students behind this screen, you need to explore, ask questions. Let your teachers help you with these questions. Explore different topics. Today we have so many topics New and artificial intelligence, for example, which is completely new. In my time, I didn't have this opportunity, but this now helps me a lot to do my conferences online, or also to start thinking about what can I put in my presentations. So use all the supportive environment that you have. Base your landing also in hand activities that help you to see if you have a superpower in a handy basis. Encourage students to pursue their interests and provide opportunities to create more creative expressions. I remember when I have some business students, I use a lot the creative part of my students. So I always try to teach them how to use creativity. And some of them, they say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not creative." Yes, you are. You have ideas. Now, how can you use these ideas to unlock probably a superpower that you have behind you? I can guide you to succeed. And they start thinking, yes, I never thought that I can have that superpower. Because creativity and audacity break a little bit part of you that brings you the opportunity to take risks and be out of your comfort zone. So if you push your students to go out of this comfort zone, probably they might understand a new talent they have. And you can also potentially see something different in that student. The third tool that I want to give is positive feedback. Provide constructive feedback that highlights those strengths and also the areas of improvement. Encourage students to see mistakes, and this is an opportunity for growth. Mistakes and failures are the only opportunities we have to see how can we improve ourselves. Also, you can help them to connect the curriculum with the real world. How can they apply it for future universities, for example? Use examples, case studies to relate current events and future opportunities. That will be amazing. Invite guest speakers like me to organize probably trips, shows, conferences, to explain them how we unlock our superpowers. Probably you can have a student struggling with some traditional work, and if you show them how to use, telling them this positive feedback, how to use their failures and their mistakes to improve themselves, probably this student eventually can excel in some other talents they have. I remember when I had 16 years old and I had to take over my family's business because my father had a heart attack and my mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I have to take care of my two little brothers, and I was completely alone by myself. I was in an incredible challenge. And I will love at that time that some teachers helped me to tell me how to deal with this new challenge that I have in my personal life, but I didn't have this opportunity. So now that I'm a teacher and I'm a coach, I give all my powers that I have with me, which are my personality, my experience, my capacity to share this with you, to help the students, the people with young age, to tell them how audacity can help you to overcome all these block, because we are all block somehow, all these block things that we have in front, and we need to unblock. And this is just because we need self-confidence, and we need to discover how magical our powers can help us to do everything we want, because nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. It's just a question of how you unlock your powers. These powers are going to help you to succeed. In schools, at home, how do I did? I put myself sometimes in a very difficult situations. But each time I fail, I went again and I said, I'm going to try again. So you need to try new things all the time, all the time, all the time. And when you like something and you really are passionate by something, then you will find your superpower. Unlocking your superpowers means discovering your unique strength, your unique passion, and your unique talent. And then you need to use this to achieve your goals, to make a positive impact on the world. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. Break barriers. No matter how old you are, what gender or what culture you are. I know today are people from India, people from America, people from Asia in general, Europe, looking at this podcast. So you will never need to think about your barriers. You need to break those barriers. Everyone has the potential to grow. Everyone. But you need to do it with hard work. Nothing is easy in life. Determination, effort, and of course, desire to improve. I'm going to tell you what happened to me a couple of years ago. After 30 years in the hospitality industry, that I knew at 16 years old that I was going to be a general manager, remember? After 30 years of leading, managing hotels, pandemic arrived. Like for probably teachers or parents in your side. And I have to reinvent myself at 50 years old. And I decided to think about my superpowers and how I was going to unlock them to thrive and succeed. So I remember how I did when I was a student. Hard work, breaking barriers, and with audacity, taking risks. And I start my new job, international speaker, master of ceremony and coach. And also, I even wrote a book, En route vers la motivation. It's in French. and I would love to do it in English. So I'm looking for a publisher. So you see, you can do so many things in life. Who is going to imagine that I was going to write a book? No one. But I look what was my power. And my power at that time is that I love speaking. I love relation with people. I love to write all the experiences that I have in my life and to use this talent to share with others and to grow with others. So to conclude this podcast, I would like to ask yourself, how can you succeed? Think, how can you unlock your superpower? Think, how can you use your unique talent? For this, you need first to search your talent. So ask your teachers, ask your parents, ask yourself what you like to do. You need courage, willpower, and also to pursue your dreams. So don't be afraid again to fall and to stand up each time and get a feedback from every single person you have around you, but a positive feedback, because it's a constructive feedback. Even though this feedback is not probably as good as you would like to, but a positive feedback. Everything is possible. So equip yourself with the right tools and mindset to become probably the most important person in your life. Every experience contributes to your growth and your success. I would like just to remember, how can you unlock your superpowers? For students, self-assessment, set goals, and seek support. For parents, positive reinforcement, provide resources, and be involved. And for teachers, personalized learning, encourage curiosity, and positive feedback. Thank you very much for listening. And remember, discover your superpowers, thrive on them, and succeed. Now, let's unlock the potential within us all. My name is Marta Pardo, and I was really, really pleased to be with you today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.